My name is Usman Lashari. First of all, let me thank Dr. Aftab Sheikh for inviting me to present. Our Honorable Health Minister is here. Dr. Ashraf Nizami is here, who has been an inspiration since I was in my medical school. So thank you so much. So my journey has been that I have been a medic myself, but I have been part of APNA, I've been part of MKANA and many other organizations. And we come across a lot of politics and power politics. I am a fellow of the American College of Health Executives, and I was elected onto its membership committee, where I was delivering CMEs related to leadership. So I'm just going to talk about the subject of power, how power influences our professional lives, and how can you navigate that in your workplaces. So it's an interesting subject. I would really like your attention, and feel free to ask any questions. Now, do you guys know what power is? Anybody who would like to say what power is? Power is the ability for you to do or get what you want. That is the fundamental concept, that you can get what you want if you are powerful enough. Now there are two main types of power. One is soft power and one is hard power. Does anybody know the difference between soft power and hard power? It's very, very important where you draw these two powers. So, hard power, primarily you get it through coercion, threats, or you could pay somebody and you can get what you want. That's what hard power is. At the same time, the soft power is the ability to get the outcome by the art of attraction or persuasion. And anybody who knows what is the main source of soft power? We live in a global information age, so knowledge and information is one of the prime resources of soft power. Now, telling your narrative through social media, mainstream media, it yields soft power for you. If you want to take an example of soft power, it not only employs to persons, it employs to countries, organizations. So Mahatma Gandhi, he got his soft power from non-violent resistance. That's what Mahatma Gandhi's soft power was. Mr. Mandela, his struggle against the apartheid in South Africa, Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Steve Jobs, all these people gathered significant soft power. And I will talk about it, how you can gather more soft power. It's a very important skill which we all need as professionals. So, can institutions and governments generate soft power? The answer is no. It's the people who will actually exercise their culture, their values. They can generate soft power. Organizations and governments can't generate it. Similarly, we speak of Islam. As a Muslim, you need to have the ability to yield soft power, but we do not display our values which can generate us that. Now, the Chinese have got a special institute, Confucius Institute. The entire purpose of the Confucius Institute is to generate soft power for the Chinese people. It actually highlights, displays their values. Globally, they fund it, and that is the reason behind it. So there are many ways. Now, most recently, there is a concept which is called smart power. Smart power is the combination of soft power and hard power. To get the optimal outcomes, you need both. You cannot get the best outcomes if you only have hard power or you only have soft power. And if you can exercise both, that is what we call is smart power. Only one is not enough. Another distinction is that if you had to choose one, would you like to choose hard power or soft power? Most people will say that we would like to have soft power, but it's almost impossible to generate hard power from soft power. You can generate soft power from hard power, but not the other way around. Now, I was going to show you a video, but there is, from The Godfather, but I think the time is very limited. Now, I'm literally going to talk about power politics. Could you raise your hands? How many of you like it, hate it? What is your opinion? Do you like power politics? So many people are shaking their heads. So yes, most people don't like it, and I'm going to make a case against it. Then why you need it? Now, if you look at the data, if you look at the papers, this is a Gerald Farris, he's a guy from Miami. So, people who have more political skills, they are more effective, they get more promotions, they go higher up the ladder as compared to the people who have no political skills or whose political skills are not as polished. There's a very famous study by Michael Marmot. This is called the Whitehall study. He looked at the mortality from heart disease in people who have more power, basically British civil servants, and people who had less power. And you will be surprised that the outcomes in the arm where people had more power, in the mortality data was much higher. They lived longer, they had better outcome than people who did not have power. So there's a quote which we got, people teach us in business schools, that seek power as your life depends on it, because it actually does. There is the data behind it, that if you have enough power, you probably will live longer, you will have better healthcare outcomes. And we will come to that. Now, another data which is by David McLean and David Burnham, power also motivates some people. They will be much more motivated than people who do not have power. But the problem is that these people who are power hungry, they don't tend to build institutions. They don't tend to build organizations. So once they leave, everything they have brought up, it will actually fall down. But it is a motivator. Now, power at work. If you want to get anything done in life, you need power. Simple as that. Even if you want to go to a restaurant with your wife, and you want to decide which restaurant you want to go to, the person who has more power will actually get the decision. That we're going to go to that restaurant. So the same applies into your workplace. Now, in the modern age, the power which is hierarchical or the military way of power is very much limited. You work across organizations, across teams, so you have to yield your own power. And unless you do that, it's very, very difficult for you to get the outcomes you want. Now, there's another misnomer. People say our organization is not political. That is not true. All organizations are inherently political. Jeffrey Pfeffer from Stanford has done a lot of work on it. His book, 7 Rules of Power, is probably one of the foundational book, which I recommend you guys must read. Now, how can you get power? The resources you hold, they give you power. Information, equipment, money, whatever you have. World Economic Forum, this is Klaus Schwab. His entire business model is based on information. They do not control any funds, but they have the best information in the world. That's why it's a much powerful forum. Donald Trump, if you look at him, his main way to gather power is rewards and punishment. People know if you cross him, you're going to be in trouble. If you're going to be with him, you'll get a lot of benefits. I'm trying to shorten this because I've been told the time is not that much. Similarly, this is Lalit Modi. He founded the IPL. So another lesson is, if you want to do something, advance on multiple fronts, make the first move, because otherwise your opponents probably are going to actually take the first. If they have the first mover advantage, it will be difficult for you basically to counter that. Make your opponents part of your team. If somebody is really giving you bad time, give them a position. Your life will be a lot easier. If you can't do that, remove them or reassign them. Give them a better position, find them a better position. If you find them a better position, they will become an ally. Do not become a big target. That's another way to get power. Most importantly, all leadership is all about resilience. Be resilient enough. If you are resilient enough, you will survive. Never ever give up. Prioritize your relationships. If you are a dean, if you are a professor, if you do not have a good relationship with your boss, you're not going to go far. So it's very, very important. Understand the relationships you have and prioritize the most important ones. Now, this is one of the most important slides which I wanted you to look at. Jeffrey Pfeffer is a professor at the business school in Stanford, where I studied as well. His class on power by Jeffrey Pfeffer is one of the more oversubscribed class. You can't get into it. And there are 7 rules of power. Number 1, get out of your way. Remove your own barriers which you think you might have them. Always break the rules. If you will keep on following the rules, you're probably not going to go far. Show up in a powerful fashion. Create a powerful brand. Network. In life, it matters who you know rather than what you know. If you know important people, if your circle is people who are powerful, they will give you power as well. So network, and if you meet all the time the same people, you're not going to generate much more power. Number 6 is use your power. The more power you will use, the more you will gather. It's not going to diminish. This is very, very important. And understand, once you have acquired power, everybody will be your friend. No matter how bad experiences you have, people want to be associated with people who are powerful. That's why, for example, Trump, people who hated Trump from Harvard, from Stanford, from Berkeley, from Brown, when he became the president, all deans, all professors wanted to be on his good side. So this is a very fundamental rule. Once you got it, people will forget your mistakes. So try to understand that. So these 7 rules are very, very important. I'm not going to talk about that. But if you look at it from the left to right, the most effective leaders will be on the left, the less effective, and then there's the coercive power. And the very last slide, which I really want to show you, these 5 books. The Soft Power by Joseph Nye, 7 Rules of Power by Jeffrey Pfeffer. There's Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And one of the most important books is Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This guy got a Nobel Prize for writing this book. One of the very few authors was given a Nobel Prize for writing a book. This is based on how you make decisions in life. If you are in a powerful position, or if you want to be in a powerful position, understand how are you making your decisions. So I recommend these books. The time is short. As I say, seek power as your life depends on it. It actually does. There is enough data on it. And thank you so much.